Jenkins? Right or left? What do you mean what county we're in? You're meant to be navigating. What do you mean we're lost? You're hopeless. Oh, stop blubbing. Here, put a bit of Burt Camphor on the old record player. That'll soothe you. Oh, what now? Hang on. Oh, hang on. Hello? Tweed's garage. Hello, Mrs. Tweed. Yeah, I'm a bit tied up at the moment. I'll phone you later. Oh, Jenkins, it's got to be an easier way than this. Surely. Anyway, pop the old kettle on the burner there, we'll have a brew whilst we're going. Bloody hell, Jenkins. That was a drive. Cool. Hello and welcome to Tweed's Garage, where in this video we're going to be reviewing a bit of technology, a bit of driving technology, something to sort of assist you in the chaos of modern day driving. Yeah, the company reached out, Carpuride, and said would I like to review one of their products. I had a little think about it, you know, sort of a bit modern for this channel, but it's something that I use quite a lot. I use sat-nav on my phone quite a lot, and you have it stuck up in the windscreen on a clamp and it falls off, falls on the floor, and you know, the screen's tiny, especially when you're sort of looking at the junctions and you're driving at the same time. So this little device would help with that, and also it's got sort of dash cam functionality on it, and reverse camera, and all stuff like that, and stuff that I don't know, but if you ask your 12-year-old, they will tell you what you can use it for. Okay, so let's go in the garage and have a look. We'll go that way. No, we'll go that way. Here it is. Carpuride HD display with IPS touchscreen, international pudding standard touchscreen. There you go. Now I was expecting a camera to come with it. Doesn't show one, but it does say rear view camera. So let's have a look see. So here we go. Very large display. Don't need that. All that. What else we get? Power supply. Stand for it. Oh no, another stand for it. Jack plug. Oh no, camera. And another sticky mounting plate. And instructions. To peruse at my leisure. And to put you out of your misery, I will read these for you. So, here's everything unbagged. Let me take you through it. I still haven't read the instructions yet, so we're going to wing it. But it looks like we've got a sturdy suction windscreen mount here for it. And I think there's a sort of glossy hard plastic pad that you can stick down or screw down to a surface in your vehicle, and then use this mount to pop it on and off. Handy if you live in a light fingered area, which seems to be pretty much everywhere nowadays. And then you've got a dash mount and a sticky pad to stick it on. I think you've got grooves there for if you want to screw it down. Display, big display. How big's the display? The actual display itself is 22 centimeters by 8, or old money, just over 8.5 inches by 3.25. So there it is. Oh, and another thing I noticed, it's got a dash cam in the back of it for videoing all that idiocy that goes on in front of your windscreen. Extends up like that, and you can also turn it round like that, so I can see what Jenkins is up to in the background. Jenkins! Some mounting screws and a sticky pad for the camera. Looks like a good quality, sturdy little reversing camera there. Another link lead, and then the power supply for it with a USB outlet on the back of it. So what to stick it in? I'll probably put it in the van. Haven't made up my mind yet. It'll be nice to have a reverse camera in the van, because pedestrians haven't worked out that you can't see through solid steel, and they still wander behind the van looking at their phones when you've got your reverse lights on and you're moving backwards. So be handy for that. And also I've got cigarette lighters, so it'll plug in and an easy installation. So to mount it on the transit would be easy. I could bring the cable through the side of the light, stick the camera on here with a sticky pad that they provide rather than putting screws in. Tap into the reverse light there for the red lead, and run the cable through the van, through the bulkhead, pop it through, run it round the windscreen trim and down, stick the unit on the windscreen, plug the power lead in here, and then connect to the stereo via the Bluetooth option and pair it up. We're ready to go. But that'll be too easy, so let's do something else. It would be fun to stick it in the Riley, just cause it'll annoy people.
Well, it isn't cricket.
And with just the one wing mirror, it's difficult to reverse as well. So that would be a good little challenge to do. The only thing is, it doesn't have a cigarette lighter, but we could sort that out. Oh, and the other thing is, it doesn't have a reverse light switch, so you'd have to have this permanently live or on a switch. But we could do that as well. What do you reckon? Let me have a think about it. So the first thing to do is plug in the power supply lead that comes with the unit to power it. Unfortunately, it needs to go in a cigarette lighter socket stroke accessory socket, but we haven't got one. What we do have is the little box of tricks down here that I put in recently. It's got a USB outlet, and it's got 12 volt banana plug outlet as well. So we need to make something to go into here to plug to here. So I got this, an accessory socket, or as us of the older generation know, a cigarette lighter socket. And it comes with a set of leads that have just got round terminals on the end, a couple of spade connectors. So I'll take these off, put some banana plugs on, and we'll be ready to roll. I'll come back in a minute. There we go, let's get it installed. There we go, we've now got an accessory socket, which I will mount eventually, but for the purpose of this video, we'll just carry on and install the power supply. So, the last thing to put in is the reverse camera. It's got a little bracket on it, comes with a little sticker as well, a couple of screws so you can mount it somewhere. It plugs straight into the unit, so you run this through the car somewhere, and then plug this into the head unit. It does have a fly lead on this end of it to wire into your reverse light circuit. Don't have reverse lights on the Riley, so you could put a sort of a mains sort of 12 volt feed with a switch on it to turn it on and off to trigger it. But I think you can also just have it running all the time on the unit, or turn it on and off from the unit. So we'll try that function, sort of have it as like an improved rear view mirror, because the rear view on the Riley through the mirror and the tiny back window isn't great. So anything that improves that will be good. And also you've got the reverse camera function as well, which will make reversing it into the garage a lot easier. So let's get this stuck in. Right, I think we'll mount it here somewhere, and then can run the cable through the boot. Right, let me have a think about this. I can't screw it into the tyre. There we go, mounted the camera on a little piece of aluminium plate. And I can hook that on there like that, run the cable like that, shut the boot down, it's all secure. And then if you know, go to a car show or something like that, can just hook it in the boot, out the way, so we don't upset the aficionados.
Got it.
I had to modify the camera and turn it round the other way, or turn it upside down in effect, because you can't flip the image in the software. You can flip it round that way, but you can't flip it that way. So that's the way the camera mounts. So there you go, I've run the camera cable up through and plugged it in at the side along with the power cable. So let's power it on, see what happens. So I know we've got power, comes on. So there you go, comes up with this. This is the main menu. So you've got your home menu, you've got your screen brightness setting, speaker volume setting. This is your cameras. So you've got your front and rear camera, and you can, if you swipe the screen, you can either have the rear camera showing or the front camera. So if you're using it as a rear view mirror, you could just have this view up. You've got menus at the bottom, so you can turn recording on and off, but it normally starts recording when you turn the cameras on. You can lock the recording. You can take a photo, and that'll record. That'll save it on the memory card. It comes with a memory card, which is unusual for these devices. You normally have to find your own, so that's a little bit of a bonus. You've got your home button there, and then this button here takes you to your phone menu, which you can also get to. Let's go back. There you go, on your Android or your Apple CarPlay. Some of the other menus, not sure, an AirPlay or SuperLink, not quite sure. Audio output, so you can have it playing through the speakers. BT audio, FM, so you tune your car stereo into the same frequency it displays on here, and that will connect it and play through your car stereo that way. Or the auxiliary cable that comes with it, plug it into here and plug it into the auxiliary cable on your stereo, and it will play through your car hi-fi stereo. How old am I? Yeah, so if we go back to settings, you've got what else you've got? You've got your settings here. So you've got your general settings, left hand, right hand drive, split screen mode, auto brightness, assistive touch, and clear connections. You've got your system ones there, you know, date and time, tip sound you can turn off. So we turn that off so it's not going dippy dippy all the time. Firmware version, factory reset, storage info, format, all that, language. And then you've got your camera settings. You've got your record resolution, set different resolutions, how much you're recording, how much data. It goes up to 2.5K. Segment duration, you can set how long it records before it saves it. So 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. Collision sensitivity, so like dash cams must have a motion sensor in it that if the car gets bumped, although it's turned off, it's got power going to it, it will fire up and record. Microphone, you can turn your microphone on or off. Reverse light, rear mirror image, you can turn it on or off so it flips the image, so it either looks like the image you'd expect to see in a rear view mirror, or it flip it the other way so it's as though you're looking straight out the back window. And then reverse line calibration, you have your lines on here, you can set your distances, you know, and where you want them to go. You move them around like this and set that. I don't know how you do that. You have to do it in sort of an empty car park with a couple of cones or something and a tape measure, just to give you a rough idea. But yeah, it gives you a sort of general guide if you put it on the corners. Yeah, so that's that. I don't think it's not on the camera all the time, so it probably only comes on if you've got the reverse light function wired up. So the camera would fire up and it put these on, but because I haven't got it wired up like that, they don't come on the camera. So then when you go onto your Android or your CarPlay function, you connect it to your phone, comes up with the menus of what it can load from your phone. So you've got, you know, WhatsApp and Waze. I've got on there phone function, so you've got hands-free facility to use your phone. There's microphone on here and speakers as well. So there's no excuse for sort of picking your phone up. You've got Google Maps on there as well, messages, you know, all the usual stuff, and global player or whatever you've loaded on there, so you can play digital radio through your through this. You know, so even in your vintage car, you could listen to all those radio stations you can't get on FM anymore, where they've gone onto the internet. There you go, back to there. So that's, yeah, it's a quick view of it, quick run around. Yeah, so a handy little upgrade for older cars. Not as old as this, of course. This is a bit silly, but it would get used. You know, if you're doing a long trip. I know there's a lot of guys out there that take their vintage cars miles and miles and miles. So they might need a sat nav on there, but you know, with the cameras as well, that sort of that helps, especially with the clowns we have on the roads nowadays. If you can record what they're up to, probably a good thing. And easy to install, and links up really well, and runs well. Yeah, so not a bad bit of kit. Yeah, and rest assured, all the purists and that out there, I took it all out afterwards, unstuck it from the windscreen. It does stick to the windscreen, I'll give it that. The sticky pad works really well, but it does come off and comes off cleanly. I'll put the little protective polythene pad back on it to protect it so dust don't stick to it. Yeah, and just unplugged it from the cigarette lighter socket that I put in, and pulled the camera out. Job done, no sight of it. Also discovered on the camera, it's got a tiny little connector. This connects into this, so you can just disconnect it from here like that. Then just take the camera away, pop the boot down, job done. So there you go, that's the Carpuride W903. Yeah, might interest you, might not. Anyway, the other thing is, I don't know whether I sort of covered it really, playing music through it. You can play, it does have speakers on it, two little sort of small speakers on it, more for the hands-free on the phone really, but you can play music through it. I didn't do it because of copyright and all that nonsense. Yeah, but if you haven't got a stereo in your car, and an old car, you might be able to hear it just about. But really, the sort of, when you're playing music, you really sort of want to connect up to your stereo and play through your car stereo. Yeah, so I think that was about it. It linked up okay. Yeah, the Bluetooth worked really well. But if you haven't got that, you can connect it with the fly lead, you know, to a jack plug if your stereo has that option. I know earlier stereos didn't have that, but you can also get a cassette with a fly lead with that jack plug on. You plug it into your cassette and you can connect it that way. But I just thought it was handy more for the sat nav and the hands-free phone option. So there you go. If you liked it, there's a couple of links down the bottom, one for sort of American based, one for UK based, and I think there's a little discount code down there as well. So if you like it, go and have a little look. If you don't go and have a look. Don't bother me, don't bother you, don't bother him, don't bother him either. Okay, so there you go. Next video, we sort of show something new in the workshop, as if I need another project. You may have spied it in the video, little clue. Yeah, so that'll be coming up. If you like the video, give us a little like and a subscribe, and you'll see more, not so much of this content, but more old cars and bikes content. Okay, so till next time, Jenkins and I are off to play a bit more Burt Camford. Okay, see you next time. Cheerio. Put a bit of Burt on. Do a YouTube channel, they said. It'll be easy, they said. As I said before. If you like the oh, there you go, I've run the and out we get again, and through here and out here. around here.